Assalamualaikum everyone, we are from Group 9, myself Muhammad Faiz Imam Misharing, KIB 180001. So our topic is X-ray velocimetry. XV or X-ray velocimetry is a combination of high-speed imaging and post-processing analysis that produce a detailed ventilation map of the lung. X-ray based methods have been shown to provide the highest possible resolution, additionally being affordable and widely available. Material with a low X-ray absorption contrast can be imaged by utilizing phase contrast imaging technique (PCI). PCXI, phase contrast X-ray imaging, leverage the diffraction of X-ray at material interface by placing the detector further from the sample than is typical for radiography. Diffracted X-ray can interfere with undiffracted X-ray. This produces an interference pattern that highlights structural boundaries. This enhances image contrast and enables higher resolution image will be produced. PCXI can rapidly generate detailed three-dimensional image of fine lung structure. Researchers found out that particle image velocimetry is used to calculate displacement vector between conservative image and determine the 3D speed and directions of the lung motion throughout the breathing cycle. This provides an entirely non-invasive way to calculate the volume of air that flow through the individual airway of the lung. Limitation and issue. XV system design limited by power density. It shows that the fixed exposure time multi-source system can reduce the RMS root mean square error of the XV system by up to an order of magnitude when compared to the traditional single source system. For subjects with high velocity profiles, further benefit may be found by using multi-source system in order to reduce requirement exposure time. This directly equivalent to an increase in potential temporal resolution of the given system. As the exposure time increase, multi-source system approach an error flow faster than single-source system. This hence the disparity between their relative accuracy will decrease. Second, multi-source system present a potential for reduced patient dosage. For example, consider the global optimal single source system with 0.267 px error. Select a system that has absolute minimum dosage of minimize the exposure time for increased temporal resolutions. Make use of the system that have 5 source exposing for 5 milliseconds, which have RMS error of 0.29 px along the reduced dosage per image increased temporal resolutions. I think that's all for my part. Thank you.
This is the importance of X-ray velocimetry towards society. First is it provides non-invasive, high-definition and sensitive real-time images of airflow through the lungs in live organisms, compared to current technique for imaging the lungs such as magnetic resonance imaging (RI) or positron emission tomography (PET) lack either the spatial resolution to resolve airway and alveolar structures. And often this method requires use of contrast agents such as radioisotopes or relatively high radiation doses, which is invasive and increasing the risk to the patient. So using the X-ray velocimetry technology can pinpoint localized area of deficiency in a lung, offering potential for faster and more accurate diagnosis. This is to picture the movement of air through lungs and localized area of deficiency that can be depicted using the X-ray velocimetry technology. Next, X-ray velocimetry also offers potential for faster and more accurate diagnosis. Non-imaging methods such as spirometer are used to measure volume of air inspired and expired by the lung, and plethysmography used to provide quantitative measurement for lung function. But the limitation to them are that they cannot pinpoint localized area of deficiency in lung region. Next, X-ray velocimetry offers better monitoring and treatment of lung disease associated with cystic fibrosis. You already know, cystic fibrosis is a condition where the lungs produce mucus that is much thicker and sticky, and sometimes it clogs the airways. So with X-ray velocimetry technology, we can pinpoint region of lung, thus offer earlier detection, and better monitoring and treatment can be managed to control the symptoms of the disease. Using X-ray velocimetry also allows us to measure the dynamics of airflow through the lungs during the course of a natural breathing cycle, and measures the presentation of cystic fibrosis lung disease. Lastly, X-ray velocimetry technology have lower radiation dose than current CT scanning. As we already know, to acquire detailed and high definition testing require invasive such as radioisotopes and relatively high radiation doses, and this we already know that it can increase the risk to the patient. So this may expose the patient to quite high radiation and increase the potential to develop cancer. As we can see from the graph, CT scan and PET scan exposed to the patient are 10 millisieverts and 25 millisieverts respectively, and remain longer in the patient body, while normal X-ray only expose 0.1 millisieverts doses and remain for a shorter period of time in the patient body.
X-ray velocimetry is an important piece of equipment that can change the medical world, as they provide several solutions for medical practitioners to have easy time diagnosing their patients' conditions accurately. There have always been limitations on how medical imaging works, where these devices don't support real-time diagnosing method or how long the diagnosis takes, and the impact it gives on the patient body, such as radiation, where you have to take into consideration. X-ray velocimetry eliminates those problems with real-time scanning and imaging and smaller radiation compared to CT scan. For example, here we have an image of a mouse lung where the left one is for the rats that have cystic fibrosis-like diseases, and the right one is the mice with normal functioning lungs. As you can see from the lungs on the left here, they are air deficit, which the medical practitioner can diagnose almost immediately, and with this efficiency, it is a whole new solution for the medical society. It avoids complication from the invasive method of diagnosing, and the process is faster, the result is more accurate, and we have a clear image of the condition that makes it easier to diagnose. X-ray velocimetry is a device that can help patients all around the world to get a better healthcare with lower costs without decreasing efficiency.